there's like an expectation that people have amongst how they perceive a woman should be and how a man should be.
Due to stereotypes, people prefer a man probably doing a certain type of job than a woman because they feel like maybe they're more capable. So guys, me and Kaylin seem to be having a disagreement. He persistently says all women behave the same.
Not all the same.
And I think all men behave the same. So
look, I'm not saying all women behave the same, but I'm saying most women behave the same, like almost all the time. It's actually true, right? Tell me, have you seen any woman not do the same thing?
What do you mean?
Have you all been on TikTok nowadays? I'm sure a lot of people are on TikTok. The whole world is on TikTok. And haven't you seen something that's similar to what your girlfriend or wife does? Because I've seen a lot of things that she does that is so similar to what other people do. And that's called stereotypes. I'm stereotyping, not going to lie. And yeah, maybe some men do the same thing. I mean, it's only fair to say that it goes both ways. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
But I think that's a topic we're getting into today, guys. Welcome back to the Let's Talk podcast with your hosts, Ray and Kay. And we're here to talk about stereotypes amongst men and women because, you know, it's such a crazy thing. And nowadays, everything is slowly changing up. You know, there's feminism going on and everyone's just trying
Gender equality.
Gender equality. There's a whole lot of things going on. And we just want to talk about this topic more because it seems crazy.
So how do stereotypes about men and women impact societal expectations and individual behaviors?
Really want me to answer that? Okay. Well, from my point of view, I think that the way it impacts on how society behaves is because there's like, how can I say this? There's an expectation that people have amongst how they perceive a woman should be and how a man should be.
Yeah.
And that's how some people grow up from, like when they were younger. You know, you'll go home and your parents would do certain things and you'd expect that to be how your life would be when you're older. So just say, for example, if your mother's not working and she's at home doing the cooking, the cleaning, and your father comes home and he does nothing of that. He just comes home, sits down, you know, relaxes the whole evening, doesn't offer a hand, you know? Like, I think that's how it impacts on society because when you're growing up as a child, you kind of see those things and you think it's the norm, you know? So, but nowadays people are breaking away from it.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Nowadays, well, the men that are on social media show that they like more into assisting their partners.
Yeah, I think the table flipped a bit.
Why?
I think the table flipped a bit. You know, I personally, I feel like that was the kind of home I was brought up in, you know? But for some reason, I decided I don't want to be that way, you know? I don't know why. I just decided to flip the switch. I don't know if it's just like the mentality of us nowadays or if we just don't want to be like those kind of people. Because, you know, in movies, they make it seem that way as well. They always, like the olden day movies, they always put the woman lower than a man.
They always like taking care of the children and cleaning.
And that's crazy because it's like saying a woman's value is there, but not compared to how a man's value is.
So you have to speak for the woman. Am I getting like a feminist? Yeah.
No ways. I'm not speaking. Well, I'm not against feminists and all that. You know, like don't kill me for that.
No. You basically like for them is what I mean.
Well, I'm for everyone. You know.
Yeah.
And how do you think it impacts on society? What's your thoughts on that?
I think generally what you're saying is correct. That there's high expectation, like the man must be the one to work and provide and all of those things, and the woman must just like be in charge of taking care of the household and stuff like that.
It's crazy the way the world works, eh? Because things like that, I think, really shape a lot of how people behave as well. Like you get people that go into become abusive people because of the way they carry on. Like some people feel they're too high up there, and
Like the male,
Yeah,
because
the
he's like,
male.
I'm working, I can do whatever I want.
I
If
can
I
do
want to
whatever.
cheat,
I can cheat.
and like the woman is stuck in a position at home to be like, I'm not gonna be financially stable or be able to take care of my kids because like I
You
don't
see,
work.
and that's the thing. That's the problem. I don't understand it.
Why
But
you don't?
that's just a crazy stereotype. But now it's like the woman want to be the men and the men want to be the woman at the same time. And I don't get it because I know people who are like okay with staying at home, guys staying at home and letting their
Are
woman
you
go to
okay
work.
with guys staying at home?
I'm not okay with that. Okay, well, I'm okay with staying at home, but I mean, I don't
I mean,
want
like the
my
woman
to be there.
working and a man being at home.
No ways, I can't deal with that. like I don't think I'm that kind of person. First of all, like I'm not gonna speak for everyone, but I'm gonna say, if you're a guy and you're letting your woman do everything and you're pretty capable of doing stuff, then you're
It's
pretty
like
lazy.
babysitting a man to me. If I was like the one working and my man's not like contributing much, I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I've noticed is that because females are trying to be in higher power now, and getting those jobs and earning that money, they end up disrespecting the men that are doing nothing to them. Like, you'll get a female that's earning more than a guy, and she makes him feel like belittle him because of that. And I don't understand that.
Does she do that or his ego is just hurt about it?
This is ego just hurts about it.
Because men are generally competitive creatures. I believe so. In
I
like
think
my
we're pretty
stereotype, I'm
competitive.
like,
I
you're
feel
like
like I'm
men.
competitive.
You're like made to
Damn.
provide and like hunt and stuff. So like,
Hunt?
if I like,
What is this,
all,
like the
it was
bush ages where
built
we're
in
running
your-
around?
to do those things.
You see, that's where another stereotype comes around. Who told you men are the ones that have to go out and hunt?
Not literally hard, like be provided. It's in yours, like being women. Like generally, they always care because they caregivers. So if they work in there's not all of a sudden not going to be like caregivers. I don't know.
Okay, you got a point there.
Like some stereotypes are like built in you to like always remain there, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think some people don't understand it, but they call it a stereotype. But that's just the way it is, everything's flipping around. And I guess that's just how it is. So, like, in what ways can stereotypes about men and women contribute to gender inequality? Like, what's your personal opinion about that? Because I think it contributes a lot.
You want to go first?
I don't want to go first. I want to hear it from you first.
I think that due to stereotypes, people prefer a man probably doing a certain type of job than a woman because they feel like maybe they're more capable of it than like a male, and vice versa.
Yeah, I think you're right about that because, like, in a lot of places, like workplaces,
Yeah.
they have very few women doing jobs that they consider men's jobs.
Yeah, because like it'll just be like automatically if they see a woman like being a mechanic, they'll just assume you don't know what you're doing.
What you're doing. You're doing a horrible job. And it's so funny because I've seen it before. And, in my life, I've worked as many different things, right? And it's so crazy to think that people think you're doing a woman's job as well if you're a guy.
Yeah.
Like, I worked as a cashier once, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I did. And, well, not just a cashier, but I did a whole lot of things, but that was one of the jobs. And this was at a pharmacy. And when I used to get people coming there that I knew, they'd be like, why are you there? Why? Isn't this like for the stickies? Huh? Why are you behind the till? Like, say,
my.
some South African words over there for all of our international viewers. A sticky is a female, right? So that's what they used to ask me. And I was like, what? That's crazy, like I was so embarrassed when they asked me that. I felt like my ego was being hit.
I think the hardest male job that I've done openly was we have a blockyard, and at one point we didn't have workers,
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
after lockdown and stuff, so things was not that well. And I and my brother had to literally make blocks from scratch. And I remember so much of people like around the community would come just to watch me doing it. And they're like, let me do it, let me try. And then they'll do it for a while and they're like, yo, this thing is hard. How are you doing it? It's so hard. And I think that's like one of the hardest thing I've honestly done.
Yeah.
So like some things, like when it comes to manual labor, I'm not saying women are incapable of doing it. Maybe I'm weak, but I was like, this thing is hard. I just remember being so tired at the end of the day.
You know, that's so funny that you're saying that, right?
Yeah.
Like you try to do a man's job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a man's job, but you know, when you get females that do certain things that
That's
men are
like, yeah.
expected to do, and then they start complaining about it later and moaning, you know, like not like what you did now.
Yeah.
Please don't get me wrong.
No, it's
I'm not
okay.
saying you like bitching about it.
I'm not.
I didn't say
had
that.
to like do it. So like if I have to do something, I will like put my mind to it. At the time I was just like, oh, all those men that were like the ones that will always come in there.
Yeah,
To like be like, oh my, you're doing this. Da, 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 da.
they were so confused.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were like, what the hell are you doing? Huh? I can't imagine it. Like, I can't see. I
It
can't
was like
see
the
it.
word in the community.
Nah, that's crazy. You know, nowadays I see women becoming truck drivers as well. And it's so crazy because, you know, when I'm around people and they see a woman inside of a truck, they get like so nervous.
Why?
They get nervous, you know, when I'm
I
traveling
think
with
women
people.
maybe are
and they're
more
like,
careful drivers. Sorry.
okay, probably you're right. You're probably right about that. I haven't seen a female in an accident for a while now. It's always, I'm serious. You don't see it often. I mean, if there is, then there was something wrong there, you know,
With the other person.
with the other person. I'm
Feminist
just saying.
here.
I'm not a feminist. but
Why
I'm-
don't you be a feminist?
I don't know. I'm not. I can't say I'm a
You're just
feminist.
for like females and like them having their own
I am
opinion
for
and
the
say.
right. I am for the just, and I'm
Yeah.
for whatever is right and what's not wrong. But I'm not saying that y'all can do things that we can do. Stereotype again. Look, now I'm one of those people.
You meant you choose that they shouldn't do it, or you're saying they're not capable of doing it? Those
No,
are two different
I'm not saying that they're not capable of doing it. Like, I think females are capable of doing like a hell of a lot of things. Like, seriously, I think a lot of things can be done. But in certain aspects, I don't think females can do every single thing.
I agree.
Like, to the, you know, like some things are just not made for y'all to do. Like we can't have kids, you know. I can't have a baby in my stomach and walk around and be, I'm 9 months pregnant. I'd die. I don't think I can survive that kind of thing. You know, like, whoa. And at the same time, I don't think y'all can survive carrying like a whole 100 bricks throughout the day and, you know, like making blocks for Africa. No, that's just not right. Like, maybe, I mean, I might be sounding like a stereotypical person right now, but that's just my comment on it, you know? And it's so crazy because, you know, when we were growing up, my granny used to do a lot of yard work. And I thought that was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because that just took me back. I was like, for me, it was normal because we grew up seeing her cleaning the yard like almost every week. And I was like, well, this is crazy. And then she wanted to get us involved. And that was when I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing that.
So,
And
do you think that stereotypes influence career choices for men and women?
I think so. I'm not gonna lie. For this part, I really think stereotypes influence women to do a lot of what men say is not a woman's job. Like, I think it's just spite. Like, you said I can't do that. You said what? I can't do a man's job. Oh, is it? And then they go do it.
In careers?
Okay, well, not really, not careers. I think stereotypes like that are from back in the days, you know, the olden days where people used to think that females are like inferior to men who are superior. And it's kind of crazy to think that because we all have like the same kind of thing. We have a brain. So your brain doesn't mean because I'm a male, my brain and yours is different. You might be more intelligent than I am, you know, and you could do the job better than me. So I don't know how stereotypes influence it, but and you? Do you think that it might just influence it?
Oh, I think that, well, back in the day, probably there were women who picked doing more feminine jobs like sewing and becoming nurses and stuff like that,
Yeah.
compared to now, where I think women do whatever they want to do, whether they want to be architects, doctors, and they just do whatever they want now than
Why is it
before.
so? Why do you think that women do all of that now compared to before?
Well, before there was laws and stuff that was put into place to prevent them from pursuing certain jobs, and if they were doing it, probably they were getting paid lesser than a male doing it. So women fought for us to work and
And to be where
pick
you are now.
basically what we want to do.
Ha, that's crazy. And do you think those laws were put there by men who didn't want any woman to surpass them because of their ego?
Probably. Because men
Fair
only
enough.
respect men. That's like one thing I've learned this much.
And have you been in a situation like that?
Yes, all the time.
Where a man would respect a man and not you?
Yes. You know this personally, compared to like when we going somewhere together and when I'm going by myself, and men are generally more rude and disrespectful.
You know what? I'm going to tell the truth. She's not lying. Men are very disrespectful when I'm not there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that that's how the world is now, Men are just like, and not, I'm not trying to like be against my own gender, but for some reason, we just have like this mind of thinking that way.
Respecting a man more than a woman.
Yeah, well, I can't say I don't respect a man more than a woman. I think my levels of respect are on the same level
Yeah.
when it comes to anyone. And a lot of people are like that. Some stereotypes we don't believe in. Like, I can't believe in certain stereotypes because I just don't think it's true. I think it was just put into place, as you said, like a law, And that's what I think those stereotypes are. I just think they're bullshit. a lot of them.
A lot of times when I've worked with grown men and they'd always look below me or preferred to speak to a male than me, like my opinion was not valid or what I was saying was like bullshit. Probably I just sound like a dummy when talking to them. That's how like they
That's
always
lame.
make you feel.
I don't know what's up with that. Like, I don't know why people cannot like change their mindset. But
The older generation.
the older generation, and the thing is that they poison the newer generation with that
to
kind
have
of
that
stuff.
type of thing, like the woman is below you and she needs to like obey what you say.
Exactly. And that's something that I think people need to teach other people, is that you need to be equal. And I just don't understand it, right? Like, there was this one place that we were at once. It was a restaurant. It's called Mug and Bean, right? And that's where we saw this female artist, Shekinah from South Africa, right? It was crazy. But when we were there, I saw two types of things happen. Actually, one, but I can say it's two. I saw a waitress that was a female and a male waitress and a guy being served. And this guy was super rude towards the female waitress, extremely rude. Like he was out of this world rude, until a male came to serve because he could see what was going on. I think it was probably the manager or something of the sort. And then all of a sudden, this guy's attitude changed, And I didn't understand it. I was so confused by it. And I was like, is this because of gender equality or what? Or does that guy just think that, the male is probably better at this job and he can't speak to the female, so you got to be rude to her? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
What
know.
do we know?
Yeah. I think that maybe men generally think women are more drama or make things too complicated. I don't know.
I think that is a stereotype that I hear about all the time. Like, women are super dramatic and always get in their feels and take things from 0 to 100 instantly, like jumping to conclusions. Like, I feel like it's a stereotype,
Yeah.
but it's something that's, That happens sometimes, I think. Like, I don't know. Do you think women jump to conclusions? You are female.
Probably.
Do you think you jump to conclusions?
I think that I overthink and overanalyze things until it like makes sense to me, and then I'm like, yeah, that's the truth, I guess.
But why? How do y'all go all the way around until you get to the finish line?
What?
Like over analyzing things and then coming back to the end and you're like, okay, cool.
I don't know, just by overthinking things. That's about it.
So do you
I
think
don't know how to explain.
do you think women overthink things a bit more than a
Yeah,
male
because
would?
we're very like emotional. So majority of our behavior come from emotions, whether it's bad or good, and then our mind is connected to that, and that's how we determine things. And
Sure.
if we don't get the answers that make sense to us, then I guess we overthink it.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think I overthink.
Is it? Or
I
like simple
overthink.
things you mean?
Yeah, simple things, like I think that's where I can say our minds work differently, and that's what creates stereotypes amongst people because, different genders always fight about certain things. Like for us guys, a simple thing, or you would say is not a simple thing, to us would be a simple thing. But to you, it's like, what the F?
It's not as straightforward.
It's not as straightforward. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the word
Because
I was
we
looking
think
for.
10 steps ahead and you're all just thinking in one.
What?
One step, like a baby step at a
No
time. And I'm like
ways.
far ahead and you're like behind. Not this.
No ways. I think 10 steps ahead. In fact, I think so far ahead that I think I could see my future sometimes.
Wow.
That's how far ahead I see of that.
I
Nah,
can
nah,
disagree and I know you personally. You don't ever think ahead.
nah. Okay, I don't think
You
ahead.
think in the moment.
Now, that's another stereotype about men that women
It's not a
always come
stereotype,
up
I'm
about.
telling you.
They'll think we're dumb.
I don't think you're dumb.
Not dumb, but like, we don't think things through
Yeah, I don't
first.
think things through. You
I mean-
like wouldn't think of the consequences and stuff. Rationally.
That's actually funny because I can agree with you on that. I'll tell you the story, right? There was this once when myself and my friends went out to Suncoast, right? And we decided we're going to spend all of our money. All of it. We had just like 100 Rand left. And that was our bus fare to get home. And it was late in the night. And what happened? We were stuck there. We were stuck in this place, like a casino place, and we couldn't leave there because we were like, oh shit, we didn't think this through properly. Where's our money?
Living in the moment.
We were living in the moment. So we had to like walk. We kind of like had to go like, it became 10 steps harder for us.
Wow. See, that's why I need
Okay, I see it. And that I can say that's a true
Like-
stereotype sometimes, that. But that was when you're younger, when you get older, I'm sure you change things a bit. You start
You
thinking.
like think.
You
Yeah.
think. Yeah, and that's the thing, some people are just dumb, You're just dumb. And I think I was a bit dumb for some time, but I grew up. I did grow out of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Of being dumb.
Not dumb, but mostly having made like dumb decisions. It was so crazy. So, do you believe that stereotypes about men and women have evolved over time or throughout the years?
In negatively or like positively?
Both ways. Negative, positive, however you want it. I mean,
I think that they were forced to like respect women.
forced. Forced to respect women, like why?
Because we have laws if you can get in trouble for like not treating women fairly. Women like fought for us to be here.
And those same people or the same lawmakers made laws before about women not being able to do things, right?
Yeah, until they were like protesting and like having a whole thing about it. And they're like, shit, they're overreacting again. Y'all men always, they're overreacting. Just give them what they want so they stop. That's like probably what was going on in the head office.
Not gonna lie, I believe that. I feel like that was what was going on. They're like, they're overreacting. We just gotta give them done, end it now. Wow, that's so crazy. You guys just have to put on like a tantrum and
A tantrum.
and things are done.
Not always, but
Not
because there's like
always.
so many other places that are still being oppressed today, till date, and many religious places that like believe that woman must still be below a man, and they make rules that are so strict, like that woman can't do this and can't do that, and they can't do so many things, and it's like exhausting. Like, get over yourselves. It's 2024.
Yeah, it is 2024, eh? Jeez. But I mean, like, isn't it just the beliefs of the past people that bring all of that into play?
Yeah, and they pass it down to their children, and like I said, if it's religious, then obviously it's taught to them that that's like the specific way, but they probably feel like what they're doing is right because there's rules set in place to like create order. But when that is taken a bit too far and women are being abused due to it and ill-treated, and the emotions, which like a woman is made out of mostly emotions, is not respected, then it's like, a woman can't live that. It's just like oppressing her. And over time, I think that like it is evolving, but not by much, where in any conversation where equality is, you'll automatically think a woman is the one that's being treated unequally. Automatically your brain will take you like, this is about women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's insane.
Do you think like men, there's like anything that is like harsh on men, since you are obviously a man, that like is harsh on you, or any rules or stuff?
Well, I don't know much that's too harsh on men.
Yeah.
Especially the only thing I can say is stereotypes. That's the only thing I can say that's harsh on men.
Like what?
Like men are dogs,
Yeah.
being judged by that line all the time. Like,
But you'll behave like dogs.
not really. Okay, not everyone is like that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just like messing with you.
I know. But I think there are some things, as I said previously, in my own experience, I was judged for being a cashier, right? And why? It's because it's a woman's job, things like that.
So you weren't grown up in like a place of imbalance where a man had to live up to certain expectation that made you feel like it wasn't an equal playing field.
Well, I lived in an environment where the man will go to work and the wife will stay at home, and that's it. The man will come home, eat food. The wife will cook the food, wash the dishes later, chill. That's the kind of thing that I've had. And I think it's like,
So is it a hard expectation? That's what.
it's not really a hard expectation, I think the only hard thing is that a man has to work the rest of his life, because that's crazy. Like, I don't I don't want to say the wrong thing here.
No, talk freely. This is a safe place, I hope.
I don't think it's a safe
It's
place.
not. It's the internet.
It's really
It'll
not a
always
safe
be
place. Nah.
But go on. Like, in
This
the
ain't
end
no
of the
safe
day,
place.
guys,
That's a lie.
things that we do on this podcast is our opinion on the matter, and obviously the beliefs we've been raised with and things around us that affect the way that we think that's right.
Yeah, so disclaimer, if you don't like it, don't attack us, okay?
Yeah.
We're just
So-
trying to talk about things. That's why it's called Let's Talk.
Okay, so back to it.
Yeah, back to it. Right, so, I could say that I don't know what inequality is to me, but I could say that you probably would know what inequality is to you, because I don't feel like I've been, or anyone's thrown that card to me, or I've seen anything like
Yeah.
it before. So
Where somebody's treating you different because of your gender.
yeah, that's the thing, because I don't know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's
Dog eat dog world.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Dog eat dog world.
Dog-eat-dog world.
You want me That's so annoying.
It's a dog eat dog.
Dog eats dog. Well, this is.
Oh, dog eats dog world.
Yes.
No, I don't believe that. I think
it is. That is what it is.
No ways.
It's a dog eat dog world.
It's a
What is a dog eat dog world?
Snoop Dogg, dog.
See, now you learn something. It's a dog eat dog world.
I thought that came from like a Snoop Dogg kind of thing.
It was just like to say life, like people like, I don't know, dog eat dog world.
That's a crazy
People
saying.
like portray,
yeah.
yeah. Why are you avoiding the question?
I'm not avoiding the question.
We can
I'm
just
just
move
like,
on from it.
okay, let's move on from that question because
yeah, because
I honestly don't believe that I have grown or seen anything like that. You know, the only thing I can say is for me, stereotypes that or anything that made me feel that kind of way that you said is nothing. You know,
So you don't like you never felt shit. I wish I was like not a male.
no. The only time, because honestly, to me, I feel like I have to do things. You know, I have to work. I have to provide. Like it's not. Oh, I'm forced to work and I'm forced to provide out of, you know, like force or obligation. It's like, it's just built in me. Like,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying. It's a male
We're programmed
thing. Y'all are
to
like,
do it. You know, we're made like that. So I can never say that it's a stereotype that men have to work their whole lives and all of that. And,
Yeah.
and you know, it's like, it's just because we feel like it. You know, I can't sit at home for a week without feeling like I can't do or I'm unable to do anything, you know?
Yeah.
I tried it once. I was at home for almost 2 weeks in the holiday and I was losing my mind. I felt like it was too long of a break. Like I needed to do something. And you know what? Even making videos helped out because we were doing something, you know? It's just, I don't know. I don't know.
male in you.
It's a male in you.
It's the opposite as a female speaking, that people have an expectation of you as a female, like, oh, you need to be in charge of cleaning the house or cleaning this and making sure this things are done in the house. But in a household where my brother and myself was doing like everything, wasn't like, because you're a female, you must do this. So the same concept I went in with life, where I'm like, that you can't make excuses just because you're not a woman, that you can't do things. You know what I mean? And if you're not a man, you like can't function, because there's so many women out there that are like single or by themselves or independent, and they still like survive. Life's not over. But there's a stigma, like if you're a single woman, you need a man. How are you like managing without a man? And recently somebody passed away, and a family member told them that. They're like, I don't know how you're gonna manage without him here anymore, you know?
Damn.
And that's like how things are for women. It's like, no, you're never gonna make it without a man.
Jeez.
And it makes women feel like, I really need, you know,
I really need a male. Yeah, I can't do without them.
Then they get all this I don't know, what can I say? Dead. I don't want to like offend you, but like I'll get like garbage men, and you're so proud of them, and they like contribute nothing to y'all's life. But that's a topic for another day.
Well, that's definitely a topic for another day. In fact, right there in that book, that's a topic for another day. We're gonna talk about you garbage men out there.
Kanan is here for it. He's tired of y'all.
Yeah, but I think you're right, you know, and I think there's more stereotypes created for women than there are for men. That's why I can't say much, because I don't know about many stereotypes that are thrown at males
because they don't
in this
have
world.
much things for y'all to meet up. Like women have to dress a certain way. If your dress is too short, she's trying to like get the attention of a man.
Oh yeah.
Or if using makeup, who is she trying to impress? You know, if she doesn't have makeup, she didn't even try to dress up. You know what I mean? She like with women, there's like always something somebody's gonna say. If you're too thin, they're gonna be like, you're so skinny, you need some meat on you. If you're too fat, they're like, you should really think about doing a diet. And that's like the reality of women now, you know.
I can't believe people say that.
it is like a
Like, what
thing.
world are we
People are
living
not
in?
happy with anything. If you have curly hair, they're like, oh, you should try straightening it. If you have like straight hair, they're like, you should do something different with your hair, you know?
Wow.
So it's always
Jeez.
something with
There's always
people.
something. Now, I feel like the stereotypes are becoming more like, something that where people are criticizing. A
Yeah, they
different
do
gender.
criticize people.
So it's crazy because
The most I've heard about men, it's always to do with they only have one
Cheating.
requirement for them to do. It's not even like that. If a man cheats, it's fine. It's like, oh, she probably wasn't giving him anything. Oh, I'm sure. Sorry, it's like there's always some excuse they'll come up with, like why a man is
That is
cheating.
whack.
It's probably her fault. She takes care of the children too much. She's neglecting him. The poor man, he works every day. But like I was saying, like
this is crazy.
like with the male, they only have one requirement: work.
Work.
And if they don't work, that's the only time criticizing happens. They're like, you lazy, you're a bum, you're this and that, you know?
Man, at least I work,
I'm saying, but that's
At least
like
I work.
literally the only requirement for your where a woman has to like have a whole checklist of things that you need to do. You need to have your house clean, you need to have your house ordered, you need to dress nice, you need to make sure this is in order, this take care of your man, la 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 la, you know?
Yeah, I understand. It seems like you got a whole checklist, and if you don't follow that checklist, people criticize
well,
you.
either way, people
for
are gonna
everything.
say shit about you anyway, so do whatever.
Do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What does this world come to? I mean,
I think it's always been that way. In the olden times, I think when women could read, they were like saying they were witches and like burning them. So,
whoa,
just another day for women.
they were burning them because they could read.
Yeah, because they're like witches.
Oh, so if someone in the opposite gender is much more smarter than you
Yeah.
are, they're a witch. So that was the mentality of people before.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, what's wrong with people? Like I feel like we're way more advanced now compared to people
Yeah.
back then, and their stupid beliefs. They try to like shove it down everyone's throat so that the next generation believes it and the following generation believes it. And like I think it's slowly like evening out, but it's still there
Yeah,
in
it'll
some
always
kind
be
of
there,
way.
I think.
It'll never end.
It wouldn't end.
It's like a cancer. It just keeps coming back and getting like worse, but in a silent way, And I don't like it. I don't know what I like, but I just don't like that shit. I don't like that shit.
Okay, I feel like I went on a little tangent there.
It's okay. Everyone does.
Now let's get you talking. Huh?
Yeah.
How do you think that stereotypes affect relationships and communication between male and females?
Ooh, what a question. Oof. Like I said before with my story,
Yeah.
and like you said before as well, men feel like they have more respect towards other men, right? So this question is about like communication only.
Relationships and
And-
dynamic between couples and like any communication, I assume.
Well, you see, sometimes some males respect the opinion of their male friends more than the person that they're with. So I think it's more like you're a guy, I'm a guy, I'm going to respect what you say because your word holds more weight than this woman's word does. And that's like something that I can say stereotypes have created because, you can have a best friend in a female, especially if you're in a relationship with them. And I think I can say I have like a good relationship with you. I don't think it affects like our communication, all of these stereotypes. But sometimes, I do go a bit offbeat. Like I do. I'm like not gonna lie about this. I sometimes do say she's like all woman. I do that stereotype thing. I pull that card like every
I think
now and
only
again.
when like I'm emotional and when I get
When she starts
angry.
like crying,
like about
wasn't
something
supposed to
you
say
don't
that.
understand.
About something I don't understand. And I'm like, why is she, what is the problem? Why are you getting so thingy,
I hate that when They're just so annoying. Like they're always so confused.
And you know what's the problem? I think nowadays we know too much about other people that in a lot of relationships, some of the same things happen.
Yeah.
Like people are the same way, like male and female. So
Yeah.
now that's where they created the word stereotype, because everyone's like, oh, it's just a normal thing. I guess all women do that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
guess all women are just dramatic. Oh, I guess they all just cry if you
I
say,
think they-
oh, your hair's just not sitting right today. Oh, it's the end of the world.
I think like when it comes to certain things, women do respond
Overreact.
the same, and I don't know, like they all like this similar things and being treated.
Yeah, and in relationships, that's one thing that becomes like a communication bug, because things are misunderstood a lot. Like, I think that's where the stereotypes make it a thing, because, a guy will be like, oh my God, you all the same. You're just crying. All of y'all do this. Shit. And then, what happens? It gets worse, because you'll get a female getting more upset about it instead of, being like, okay, this guy needs to understand what I'm saying. But just because of the fact that all males think that all women are overreactors, we'd say something like that. Oh, you just overreact. Y'all all just overreact.
I think like that's what's gonna get men murdered majority of the time.
That is some evidence I have right here from her saying it. So if you guys don't see me again, best believe she did something to
I
me.
think like I don't know, maybe it's just the way that women explain it. I don't know.
You think that's the way? So
I
is
don't
that-
know, I'm
is that-
asking you.
Well, I gave my answer and opinion about it. So what's yours? How do you think it affects like relationships and communication? This gender inequality and stereotypes.
I think one thing that should have done is like being more protective and like wanting your partner to respect you in a certain way that they might not understand just because you like a male, obviously, and you see disrespect differently than they see disrespect. That's why when women cry and stuff and y'all don't understand, it's because it's not something y'all value, as to when if a woman has to go and I don't know, talk to another male or go to a male like for help instead of coming to you first. Like, I'm not saying it's right, I'm just like something that a male cares about, then obviously a woman cares about. That's like where stereotypes of bad communication. It's because like people value different things when you're male and when you're female. So yeah. And in communication with people, there's already a whole thing like with women and men, just like she's making it too complicated, so I'd rather not deal with this woman because she's not competent enough and she's not able to understand what I'm saying, compared to if a male, he's gonna get it done. And I think like women get things done, okay, they take it seriously. I take things so
super
seriously.
serious to the max, like extremely serious.
But I don't know what's up with that whole thing. Like, I cannot fathom till now, why does it matter who you deal with? It doesn't matter, like, why do you have to be disrespectful just because it's a woman? Because why? They're not going to, like, beat you up or something, you know?
I think it's more like, as I say, men just don't like dealing with women.
Why?
Okay.
You are in the hot seat. Why?
Wow, okay. I don't know. I can't speak for all of the Tom,
Okay, why
Dick,
do
and
you
Harrys out there.
think it is?
Okay, as I said before, I feel like men, as I said, just feel more like entitled to speak to other males, and some men are brought up with that mentality of I am above a woman, and whatever I say to you is like, like you're just not gonna understand it. Like if I'm talking to you, or if I go to a car dealership, for example, and there's a woman coming to sell me a car, I'm gonna be like, why is she coming here? Why? Does she even know how to change a tire? Like I don't think she knows how to change a tire, so why would I want to buy a car from her?
So basically, men think women are incompetent.
I think a lot of men think that women are incompetent. Like, I don't know. I think that's what created the whole thing of a woman cannot do a man's job, you know, because men thought that women are incompetent. And from all the old movies that I used to watch, right, I used to see, like, you know, when the scripts that they created, it's like so straightforward, and it's like it's shocking to see like how people of those days used to carry on.
Where the woman's like the dumb one.
The dumb one that does nothing. She's just there like
And baking things and stuff.
yeah, and the guy is the big guy that,
he's
you know,
all
he's just like
serious and
serious
businessy.
businessman minded, you know, like there's my dumb wife that I have to move around with her.
The trophy.
You know, the trophy, exactly. Like beautiful and dumb. Wow, I hated that. And I thought, like, is this how things were before? You know, at least now it's not like that. Well, I think it's still like that, you know. There's still some dumbass woman out there. I'm sorry, I don't mean it like that. But there's some dumbass men out there as well.
Yeah, true.
You know, like super dumb. The ones that want to stay at home and let their woman work and they just do nothing about it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's my opinion. I hate every bit of it. I hate everything.
Wow.
Damn. Do you think men are more disgusting than women are? Like, for real.
In terms of what?
Like, just gross. Like, disgusting.
In terms of cheating and being hoes and sleeping around with different women, yes. But like, if
I don't mean like
cleanliness,
that. I mean,
no, it depends on the type of person they are, not the gender.
you just misunderstood my whole question.
I asked you which way there was like two ways about it.
Well, I was talking about, like, you know, like cleanliness and all of that.
I think it's a personal matter.
It's a personal
like
matter.
I've seen some gross women
You
and
have.
I've seen some gross men.
But I've heard stereotypes that men are way more disgusting than women are. Like, men just go around farting and, you know, like you'll see them with like underarm hair all the time.
That's
and
again
they're
because
just
like the standards women have to live up to. Like, imagine a woman
wow,
like
the
would
standards.
like push arms. They're like, oh, she's so filthy. She's wrinkly. You know what I mean? Whereas a man does, they're like, it's that.
It's just that.
Yeah.
Why? Because I mean, I'm sure you, like, if you had to fart and if I had to fart, it'll smell
I
the
don't
same.
fart. So I don't.
There's another stereotype: women don't fart.
I don't do anything.
I don't believe that.
I don't
When was the
even
last
have
time you
any.
farted?
I don't have any exits and anything. I don't do those things. But thank you. Next question.
Are you like an alien or something?
Probably.
No,
all
I
of
don't
our
believe
women,
that.
we all in this together.
Yeah, I see that on TikTok. Eh? You're pretty slick at acting like you don't do those kind of things, eh? That's
So, and
crazy.
you do you think that men are more disgusting than women?
Hey, I asked you this question, okay?
Women cannot be disgusting because, like, if you like don't like clean yourself, you're gonna smell like fish or some shit. Like that. So I don't know. Like,
What an example! Smell like a fish or something. That's crazy, right? Yo, that's wild. I'm shocked. I don't even know what to say anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you that, okay?
And also, most men that are like dirty or want women to clean after them, that's just because like their mama's boys and their mother is probably taking care of them.
Ugh,
So that's why
shots
they
to the
like
throat.
just think, I should just throw my things there or there. Yeah.
That is so crazy. I don't know what. Mama's boys. I know some mama's boys, okay?
Would you date somebody that was like dirty or disgusting? If you didn't have me, obviously.
Probably not.
Why? Because
At
you
all?
never date anybody but me, baby. So sweet.
You see, that's how you get them. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, you see. I can't, like, I've never dated anyone, in fact. So
Yeah,
I don't know about dirty people. I don't know about anyone else. I don't know these
You
things.
only know me.
I only know you.
And like there's this thing about feet. Let's like get this clear.
Oh my God, the
Men base
stereotype about
women
feet.
on feet. So let us hear it right now. Whether you.
Look, I don't base nobody off feet. When I met you, you know, that was like a whole thing. You know, I met her for the first time, and you know, this was the most craziest story ever. I like lived and died in tackies. You know, I never like wore slippers. Like right now, I'm wearing slippers. You can't see it obviously, but
Yeah.
I never took my shoes off in front of people. And that was because I didn't have to. And then I came to visit her, at her house, and then I had to stay over, and boom, I had to take my shoes off. Bro, my feet were super white, and this girl was like, your feet are so neat, they're so clean. Oh my God, they're so clean. And I was
Your
like,
feet were
what?
so neat.
And they were white, like
No, they
pale.
were neat. That wasn't the point of the whole thing. I was like, it's so neat. You show was like you clean.
I was there
Take
thinking,
care of
bro,
yourself.
Bro, who's the man here? You like looking at me and judging me from my feet?
He's like exposing me.
Yeah, I am exposing her because
It
like
just means, like,
she
you
asked the
care.
question.
Shame.
I think like men and women do the same thing, because I know men like over when it comes to feet, they like
Yeah, they like
overly
fetish-
judge. Yeah, it's like a
stuff.
fetish thing as well. Some people like feet pictures and all. I'm not gonna get into that. It's weird as fuck. I don't know why, but some men do judge women based on how their feet are, because some wise person once told me it's a way that people judge the kind of person you are and how you look after yourself. If your feet are bad, right? Her ex-boyfriend's feet were really bad. And that just gave me an example of what kind of person we were dealing with, man. It was so bad, right? So,
I'm fucking dying.
yeah. And it's so much. It's the truth. I had to say it, fam out there. I had to say it, okay. But it goes both ways, because when she saw my feet, she was like, "You're so neat and
You're so
clean.
flattered.
I cannot. I just."
Why don't you just tell me
I
everything?
feel
that
like
I
she was
said?
like fainting. She was no, I can't tell him everything. Okay, but yeah, I think it goes like both ways. Like I think sometimes females also judge men on their feet. Like, okay, you're looking after your feet. You got
Not just your feet. I
someone
think
else.
like anything, your hands. If like you pick your arms, I don't like how you smile. It's like, oh, you care about like
Yourself.
your hygiene.
Hygiene, exactly. It's called being hygienic. So like that's a stereotype amongst people
What?
that I think is utterly true. It's not bullshit. It's true.
That men are more disgusted.
No.
Oh.
Men are not more disgusting. Okay, yeah, they are more disgusting. Men are privileged to be more disgusting. You see, women are not privileged to be more disgusting, because you get people out there that are saying, oh, you like this and that and that and that and that, and you have to be like a trophy. So I think it's more pressure on females. But personally, I think men don't have it like that. We have it pretty easy. We laid back, we chill, we don't have to give birth. Everything is cool.
It's really all about this giving birth thing.
I'm just saying, like that's my opinion. But yeah, and when it comes to the hygiene part or the stereotype feet part, I think it goes both ways. Like I saw it from you. You were the first person I saw that judged me by my feet, and I was like, cool. I guess it goes both ways then,
So since we're getting to a much more jokier side of this,
Everything's jokes.
do you think that if you see a good-looking woman with a less attractive man, that it's for money?
Say what? If I see a
Attractive woman
woman
with a not attractive or
with
less attractive man,
okay,
Is
is
it
it
for money?
is it an old unattractive man?
whatever you want him to be. I
Man,
don't know.
that's for money. That is money. She's taking that money from him. That's playing down like when you like pass away, I'm gonna get your stuff kind of thing. But not all the time, Like I think sometimes people see that and they think that all the time because it's a stereotype. Like some people think that when a female is with an older guy, it's always about the money. And sometimes it's not always about that.
You believe so?
Well, I believe that 99.98% of the time it's true, but there's always that 0.02% it's for love, and people are out there, they want that love, they're trying to get it from someone, and to some people love doesn't have like a look. It doesn't require a shape or color or anything like that. It's just straightforward what it is. But in most cases nowadays, there's a lot of gold diggers out there, and they all want that money. I mean, come on.
In my opinion, I'm like, if I see, okay, let's just say an older person and a young like good-looking woman, they both using each other for something, but it's just differently.
Oof. That's so
Like
much
the old
well
guy just
said.
wants a trophy woman, and he wants to look at her, he wants her to dress up, he wants that type of person, and she wants obviously to be financially stable, so it works out as they both using each other for something.
That's
you
like
know?
prostitution.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like
just
it, but in a
it's like
relationship form.
yeah, it's just in like a
It's a different version of prostitution, right? The rich guy gives the poor woman money and she does stuff for him. But now they're together, they stay together, you know? And then sooner or later, he's gone. And then she gets the money. That's crazy. Like,
maybe also women are with less attractive men, not old men, young, okay, their age men, and they like not good looking, and they with them like to not feel jealousy. I don't know.
jealousy?
To not feel jealous, like if like someone is good looking,
Oh
they
my
like always have to be
God.
concerned. I don't know.
No, how did we get to this point? Why are we even here? How did we
did it.
get here? This is crazy. Like, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it is because of that.
I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
people are
just like-
jealous and they're like, I don't want to be jealous anymore. So,
I'd
you know
rather
that song,
somebody that-
if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your, you know?
wife.
Yeah. I can't say it because just now you're going to copyright me if
For
I
real,
start singing
yeah.
the melody of
Please
the
don't
song.
do that.
So I'm just saying the words, you know, there's no crime in saying it. YouTube.
So do you think that is true? Like having a pretty woman is more stressful?
Yes, you are stressful.
Oh, babe, what? I don't know how to take this. Oh, what? I
thinks
think all
everything's
women
sweet.
is stressful, so I don't know. What do you?
No matter what, it's just
You
stressful.
just stress.
It's just stressful. You know, you have to worry about your bank account stereotype. You have to worry about like if someone's gonna come and take your woman, you know, like it's always a stressful thing. And that's why like if you're with someone and they're younger than you and you're an older guy, or not even that, if you're an unattractive guy and you have a beautiful woman, you know, you're always gonna think like you're gonna be the more insecure person. You know, like I think that would be the case. I think like a guy like that would probably feel way more insecure than his woman, which is like, you know, a trophy to him, because that's a trophy in his eyes. And it's true, most of the time people do definitely do it for the money. So that stereotype, as you asked in the beginning, I say 99.98% true, because it is. I'm not going to take that back. I don't care what you'll say to me. I don't give a shit about what anybody says to me. I think it's true.
Okay, so getting back to stereotypes, and do you believe that women use their assets and looks, beauty to their advantage?
The assets. Why did you say it like that?
So you know what I
think women
meant.
use their assets?
Like they, yeah.
Oh my God, it's as good as a Trevor Noah joke when he said we are all a country on. Oh my
So,
God.
yeah.
I think so. I think women use like they're always using that kind of thing, you know?
To get ahead.
To get ahead. And you know, with social media now, women are like overdoing it. Like you cannot scroll on TikTok without someone trying to show you their assets. You know what I mean?
They're trying to get that money.
They're trying to get that money. And I think women nowadays are using that to their advantage, because, you know, that's like, they're making it
working
seem
on
like
what
that's
they
the only thing they
have.
can do. No, that's the thing.
They're so
It's
good
nice.
that men want to join us, so I don't know.
Lil Nas X.
You know? So
Oh my gosh. No.
So maybe that's why. Do you think like it's an advantage to women and a disadvantage if you're a male, that you don't have those things?
I think it's a disadvantage to males, okay? Like, women can definitely do whatever and get whoever and whatever they want, and we're just like stuck, you know?
What?
If you don't look good, you don't look good. If you don't look good, you're fucked. I'm just gonna say that.
And then what? So you can't swear on camera.
I'm gonna peep it out.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So like you say that it's a disadvantage.
I think it's an advantage for women, but a disadvantage for men.
Is it an advantage for women only?
Well, if a guy is good looking, right, I can't say, I'm not a woman, I can't say like, oh, that guy's good looking. I think, like, I don't know. Like, to me, I'm just like, okay, if a woman's good looking and she's using her assets to try and get whoever she wants, then it's an advantage to her, because she could get, like we said before, whoever she wants, and it could be a sugar daddy or somebody that's gonna like do whatever for her and done, But not everyone like does that. There's some smart people out there that don't use their assets and looks,
I think it also comes in a disadvantage because then they get stalkers.
Stalkers and all and murdered. Yeah, because you know why? It's social media advertising, okay? And that's the crazy part, like, but I've heard that stereotype that women are just like, using their social medias to flaunt themselves to anyone and everyone. And I don't know if I can call it a stereotype. It's just a saying, and I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like it's true. Sometimes I don't know what the hell to think, and I'm just here because.
Do you think that men should be accepting of women posting these things if they're in a relationship with them? Obviously,
no. I don't think any man should accept that. No, hell no. I don't think so. The amount of problems that you'd save yourself from would be so good because at the end of the day, like a man can be a person that's not jealous, right? And tell you, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with that. But once he starts seeing things getting weird, then I think that's like a put off. And we become more like, no, I don't like that, and I don't mess with that. I can't deal with it, Because imagine like having someone, a person that's your person, and they're posting things, and it's like you feel like it's not for you, and they say it's for me. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me, and it's pictures that are like explicit type of pictures.
Yeah.
And who's it really for? You're showing off, but who are you showing off for?
And if men are liking other women's pictures,
I think.
yeah.
What a question, hey! What a question. I also think
tell him that the woman mustn't do it, and they liking the same pictures. You think a woman should then make her own decisions to post whatever she wants if her dude is liking that from other women?
I think so. Yeah. Okay. Fine. That makes sense. It makes sense. Right,
then it's an exception.
Yeah, it's an exception. I mean, like, I don't think anything should be an exception. Don't do that kind of stuff, man. Just don't do it. Behave yourselves. Calm down. You're in a relationship with someone. Only look at her stuff, and like her stuff, and don't go messaging anybody else, because it doesn't matter. You're gonna find yourself in trouble after that, and you're gonna end up crying.
And it's embarrassing.
And it's embarrassing.
Tell them, Kaylin.
It's embarrassing. I don't know why she's telling me to tell them.
I think it's embarrassing because, like, imagine you're a female and your boyfriend's name is under another chick's picture. It's like so fucking embarrassing. Sorry, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And do you like hate it a lot? Like, if why do you think it's like embarrassing?
Because we know how women are, and certain women would use that, like, oh, see who's dude like my picture, oh, he likes me. Because why are you giving that woman that type of attention?
You see, now women have stereotypes amongst each other. They know how other women are.
Obviously, y'all know how other men are. That's why y'all like get thingy when certain things women don't understand, and women also know women.
That's a good point. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good point. I'm pretty okay. Fine. I'm lost for words. She's right on that one. Okay.
We're a bit too much. I think we went off like the whole serious topic. So y'all can leave like serious serious questions down that you want us to answer about this topic, because we just went off, okay? So we're gonna end this because like it became so funny to like pressurize you. But
everything's funny with me.
So we're gonna end it like, how do you think that in our daily lives we can break down stereotypes?
Okay, how can we break it down? All right, so honestly, I think that first we need to start respecting each other as humans and not just by gender, and also not just by color as well, because that's another problem, right? Especially, like, for example, you get people of different races that treat people from different races as well in a certain, like, at a certain race groups, females, they men from different races treat them differently compared to ones in their own. But all in all, I think gender inequality, people just need to respect each other and see each other as one. And yeah, and that's one thing I think that can be changed in this day and age. But like, it's so freaking hard.
It's hard because
So freaking
end of the
hard.
day, you're always gonna have that bunch of men
Hooligans.
that don't want to follow the times, don't want to respect women, don't want to respect women's space, and it has a lot to do with like that men are generally stronger than women, and they use that to their advantage in a lot of the cases. So I think, in my opinion, that it will always be there no matter what we do.
Yeah, it'll always
have
be
a
there.
solution.
I have no solution either. All I can say is
Respect each other.
respect each other, guys. Do it the right way.
Respect each other, and like if you see a woman being abused and stuff, and you're a male, I'll stand up for her, and
Yeah.
and that's it for this episode because we were talking for so long. As always,
I don't think we were talking for long. That wasn't
you
long
wanted
at
to
all.
talk more.
Nah, I think I'm done now. I have to go to work tomorrow, so guys, yeah, that's cool.
I don't. Gender stereotypes.
You see what I mean? You see it's already starting.
I don't mind, okay? You must work
Jeez.
and go wake up in the morning while I get to rest. Because
We were just talking about this now on
hard
our
a woman.
podcast.
Okay, I need to rest.
How is it hard? You just don't have to do anything.
I told you already. This podcast didn't help, guys. Bye. We're
Bye.
gonna argue off camera.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Don't tell them what to do. Guys, please subscribe to the channel because I said so.